New York City. No place could seem farther from the foothills of the Cascades. There is a connection between these two utterly opposite worlds, where Pilchuck is a magnet drawing glass artists from all over to the Northwest. New York remains the financial center of the art world, the land of galleries and museums. And it is here that an artist must attract the attention of collectors and curators. In the heart of Manhattan, at the American Craft Museum, the Sachs collection of contemporary glass is on display. 55 artists are represented in all, the breadth of American and European talent. And of these 55, 41 have been affiliated at one time with Pilchuck, 8 of them this summer alone, giving one small institution a very large name in the artistic world.
Pilchuck is a very important international center on several levels. It's very important, obviously, as an educational institution, but it's very important as a catalyst for bringing people together.
The teachers that we meet after a program will come through and say, it was wonderful, but it was exhausting. You know, it was exhilarating, but it took everything out of me. And the students will say the same thing. So there's that beautiful give and take there. Students get and give, teachers get and give. And I think it's the best example of that type of approach that I'm aware of any place in the world.
By placing itself in New York, the Heller Gallery is at the center of the international art market. It has exposed the world to glass and glass artists to the world.
We get hundreds of people through every day, and it's interesting to see the response. We feel very often that painting and many of the things in the fine arts have become extremely esoteric and in a way shut many people out. The emergence of this new level of work coming from the glass field and the traditional craft field has opened up doors to let people in again. And I find a lot of response extremely favorable, and people almost relieved when they see this type of work. It shows a respect for the old ideals.
The old ideals are enjoying a sudden new popularity. The Sachs collection alone was amassed in the past 7 years. Prices for major artists have climbed from several hundred to several thousands of dollars. The glass market is booming.
I think it's resulted in some wonderful, wonderful growth and experimentation, and people's awareness, artists' awareness, has expanded tremendously.
Because of Pilchuck?
Yes, because of Pilchuck.
It began as a neat idea with a $2,000 grant in 1971. A Tacoma artist planned a one-time summer colony and went looking for sponsors. He found them in the owners of the Pilchuck Tree Farm, John and his then-wife, Ann Gould Hauberg.
Here was this hippie standing in my living room. He had a presence that belied his dreadful appearance, and so I found myself taking him seriously. And the next day we came up and we walked 10 miles over the tree farm and selected this spot because it had the pool and the roads, but it had no drinking water, it had no power, and of course it had no buildings.
We built this thing in this record time. We actually, from the time we got here to the time we started the furnaces, only took 2 weeks.
Dale Chihuly has traveled considerably from being a hippie in the Hauberg's living room to the most successful glass artist in the world today. But he has guided Pilchuck by a simple philosophy.
And I had a certain vision about quality of I don't know if quality is the right word, but I wanted it to be good.
There is still a good homegrown quality to Pilchuck. Nearly everyone on campus is involved in glass. The staff member who cleans bathrooms this summer will study next year in Sweden as a Fulbright scholar. Many will come for a session and never leave.
Okay, now I'm going to turn. Okay. You follow me if you can. I came up here for one 2-week course during the second session of Pilchuck in '85. And before the plane even landed, I looked out the window and said, wow, that's a place that I want to spend more time. I ended up staying for 2 months up here. And when I went back to Texas, I decided 24 hours later I was going to move up here. And about a month and a half later, I did.
You packed a body and soul.
Yeah, and I'm here for good. It's definitely home right now. I've moved around here and there for the past almost 10 years, 8 years, I guess. And I think I found a place where I want to stay.
Do you find it incredible sometimes that directly and indirectly you're responsible for bringing dozens of people to live in Seattle, that to create this community?
I suppose that, yeah, I do find it incredible. I mean, I find glass incredible. I find the glass movement incredible. I find Pilchuck incredible. And I find the fact that Seattle has maybe become the center of glass in a way. That's pretty incredible. But yet, that's how things happen.
What has also happened is the transformation of Pilchuck from a tightly knit professional family to a full-scale artistic institution. Whether the glass community can stay so close and whether Pilchuck can remain so vital is one of the problematic questions of success.
It's gotten big, and people have been, one thing, when I was in it like 8 and 10 years ago, nobody had any shows, nobody's making any money, so we were sort of a brotherhood of poverty, but that's changed.
Time of expression of the 60s is over.
Oh,
and
no.
This is over. That's dead. You can't go on with the 60s when we're living now in the 80s, and that's a different kettle of fish of experience in the glass world.
Money is a big factor in it. People want to be famous and make money, and they don't do things just for the hell of it as much as they used to, I think. And I don't know. I thought a lot of good things. I don't think that's necessarily part of the 60s. I think there's still a lot to be gained from that sort of loose attitude and exchange of ideas.
You don't blow a glass for peace anymore. That's over.
I guess.
And we have to look for new areas other than, than just what we're doing. And it's like when somebody asks me, well, what are you going to do with your work next, I say to them, if I knew what I was going to do, I'd be doing it, I mean, people don't know what they're going to do next. That's the nature of being creative, maybe. And I don't know where Pilchuck will go or how it'll change. Somebody was trying to talk me into starting a Pilchuck down under in Australia. And somebody else suggested, well, it's reached its peak, and why don't we burn it down? We get a lot of different ideas as to what we should do.